All right. All right. Looks like we're finally live here. Had to redo some settings on this. All right. Just going to... How's it going, everyone? Sorry. Trying to get everything back in order here. Just trying to make some corrections to all of the video stuff. And now I am just picking out which miniatures I wanted to paint for this. This is Maladum. It's a board game that I picked up, and I'm just adding a little bit here where the primer missed. No big deal, but just want to make sure it's covered so that the paint sticks. All right, I think that we're good here. So yeah, I just felt like I kind of wanted to get these guys painted up. I've actually been wanting to play this game really badly. It's a solo, well, it's something that you can solo play, but I thought it would be really fun to get enough guys painted up and ready to go that I could actually play a little bit here. And this game is really cool because it comes with like a ton of cardboard terrain that you can punch out and play. And I hear that though it's really cool, but that's one of the downfalls of the game, is that the setup can take quite a bit of time. And I looked at the cards a little bit just for some reference, but I didn't feel like punching out the cards and everything, so I may just check online. I'm somebody, I like to kind of match the box art on things. I don't know why, it's just my weird little... It's kind of what I just prefer to do. And set this just so I can see what's going on. Just so I can make sure that we are good. Okay, yeah. Yep. All right. I think we're good to go here. So I was like I was saying, I looked at some of the card art and stuff, and this, I'm just gonna paint these guys kind of how I want. I like painting like the card art, So I may refer to it some if I can't think of how to paint something, but probably gonna just kind of try to wing some of this. We'll see how it goes. It isn't like I can't look online real quick if I kind of get lost. But I think with these, there's a lot of detail on these minis. They look really good. So it's going to be fun to get them all painted up here. I'm thinking maybe a dark blue for like her cloak. Yeah, let's start on her. I'm thinking a dark blue. And this time around, to be honest, I think I'm going to shy away from speed painting. I've been speed painting a ton of stuff lately, and I'm just not thrilled with it as much. It's just kind of, I don't know, I'm just getting kind of bummed down on speed painting so much. So I'm going to go back to a little bit of my roots and how I normally paint stuff, which is kind of layering and all that. Yeah. All right. Let's start with a little dark blue on her robes here. I want these guys a little dark because it is a dungeon crawler. So I think that I'm going to try to keep them a little darker than usual. Lately with speed painting, I've been base coat or priming everything white. Where I think this time around here, I'm going to go with the black and try to keep them dark. I mean, these guys are crawling around in a dungeon, so I can't see it being super bright all the time. I could put on some little bit of music in the background. See if that helps kill some of the silence. So I know when I watch streamers too, and I'm just kind of painting along with them, I like a little bit of noise in the background. Just something to kind of break it up. Yeah, and as I said with these guys here, I think I'm going to take my time more and just do more layering and such, rather than trying to speed through them. Although I'm trying to see here, this, it almost looks like this is over top of her shirt here. It's almost like the shirt is underneath here and it should be a different color. Sometimes with these minis, it's so hard to see what's what until you start painting them. Hey, Diesel Man. It's good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Just thought I'd jump on tonight and do a little streaming. I need to get these guys painted anyhow, so I thought, hey, I'd just jump on here and do it live. Caught me just kind of rambling to myself there a little bit. as I said, some of the hardest part of painting these guys sometimes is just trying to figure out what's what on them. Can't tell. Let me check and see if this looks alright, if it's too dark. Just want to pull up my... See how this looks. I know there's a little bit of delay. Doing good, just recording, hanging out with you. Cool, cool. Yeah, I saw you guys got some streaming in today. Yeah, it's a little dark on here. That should brighten up some, I think. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch too much of the stream. I stopped in for like a second and left a like for it. The weekends are so bad for me, especially during the day, to sit and watch streams sometimes. I try to jump in as, you know, if I can, just to leave a like or something like that. But sometimes it's just so difficult. 3.6 hours of Subnautica. Woo! My daughter played that game for quite a bit. I know she really liked it. I'm trying to see what all she has. It looks like she might have gloves. If not, I might just put gloves on her. As I said, sometimes it's so hard to tell with these miniatures. So I think I'm going to throw some gloves on her here. I haven't like slow painted a miniature now for a long time. So it's kind of weird to not just be slapping down some speed paints or contrast paints on them just to move them along. It's kind of refreshing just to take your time with them. Layer them up a little bit. So hit these boots up while I'm here. Got the brown out. But yeah, it's I got this game a while ago and I've been dying to play it. But my typical crazy self, it's like I just can't play games while the miniatures are unpainted. It just bothers me. So that's why I figured, hey, I better get these guys moving. But I don't know how any painting videos of these guys would do. I don't know if there's much much demand out there for them or not. I mean, it's so hard to compete with like 40K type stuff. So yeah. Let's paint a little of this brown. Paint some of that. Oh, okay, that's a feather. Got some feathers going on here. Just hitting up the staff a little bit. Put some gold on the ends of it. That's sash. Trying to think of what color I want to do that sash in. Maybe a pink? Maybe a pink. I like to throw down my base color so I can at least see everything and then figure out from there where I want to go. As I said, I can't tell if that shirt should be something else or not. I almost feel like that shirt should be another color. And I might paint it something else. Open this one up. I've been painting with these Pro Krill paints lately. They're actually pretty nice. Really impressed with them. Get this paint off of my blade. All right, there we go. You know what? Actually, I think I'm going to paint this dark red first. Then we'll come in and use the pink on it. But I always struggle with what colors to use on these guys without reference pictures. As I said, I know that there are reference pictures for these out there. I should look them up. But I don't know how important that is. I mean, the character cards are pretty obvious who they are and such. Maybe we'll put down a little bit of red on these feathers here. At least one red, and then we'll do one white. I put so many details on these characters, like the little potions, the little chains and such. They just go all out on this stuff anymore. It makes it a challenge. I mean, they look cool once you get them all painted up, but they're a little bit of a challenge to get them going. Still working on that commission for the Great Wall. But I thought maybe people would like to see something else painted up for a change other than that. Because that one there, again, I'm speed painting on there, so it's kind of like just slopping paint on with the speed paints. Nothing too magical about it. All right, let's throw down some skin color. I got this new tan flesh here. I haven't used it very much, so I want to see what it looks like on the mini. It's a little bright, but that black should dull it down some. I don't know how I'm going to darken these up, though. If I'm going to go in and hit them with an oil wash, or not. I do love using the oil wash now that I started. It's a quick way of getting them nice and dark. This stuff covers pretty good for a flesh tone. Just takes a couple of coats. And then probably have to do a flesh, like a brown wash on it just to get some of the detail and the shade into the skin there. Oh, must have accidentally hit the glove there. It's an easy fix. Just hit it back with the brown. Hit that with that brown. Fix that up. Yeah, she's already starting to come together. This blue here. I might look her up real quick and see if that shirt should be a different color. I'm almost certain it is. You know what? I'm certain that it is, so let's just go ahead. I'm going to put down the red because I think I'm going to make that shirt, her shirt, red to match the sash. And then I think we'll do those like in a pink. Could always do her in red, white, and blue here to make it look like Wonder Woman. Yeah, this is how it should have been. This looks better already. Looks kind of cool. I like the design of it. Yeah, that looks neat. Yeah, I'm liking that so far. Looks cool. All right, let's glue that up a little bit. I think I'm gonna leave her with black hair. I kind of like that. This little chain here I might end up doing in a gold color. And then her spear here. Might try to do a non-metallic or something on that. I was watching a friend of mine paint that today, and it looked like a cool way of. It didn't look too bad, so I think I'm gonna give it a whirl this time around. kind of jumping back and forth here, messing this up. There we go. All right. All right, let's start building up that blue cloak. Throw a little turquoise on there. Do a little turquoise here. You know what? Actually, I'm going to mix that in the blue there. Tone it down some. It's kind of drastically different. Yeah, there we go. Just hitting the highlights. Hitting it where the light would definitely be reflecting on it. Yeah, looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this so far. Mix a little dark blue there. I'm not 100% sure what that plate on her back is. You know what? Hang on. I'm gonna put on a little music in the background here. Let's change that up. All right. Let me see here. Looking for something. Turn that down some. Just something to break it up a little bit there. Let me know if that gets too loud. If it's too loud, I'll go ahead and turn that down some. I just needed something though to like break it up a little bit. Here I'm just hitting it again a little lighter. Where I think the light would hit it the most. And let's add a little electric blue to really lighten it up. stuff gets clogged. I've done that before with the Vallejo. Squeeze it too hard and the whole cap pops off. That's a lot of fun. Need a little bit of water on that one. Ugh. And with this, if it goes too light, we can always go back in and tone it down with some of the dark blue, blend it in. No biggie. Usually I do my highlighting and stuff really subtle. I don't really go overboard with it, but I think I need to do it just a little bit more so that you can definitely see a difference, you know, in the gradient. A little bit of water to fix that. There we go. It looking good. A little bit of glazing with the dark blue there to blend everything in. Tone it down a little bit. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go pure white on this cloak at all. There we go. Maybe lighten it up just a touch here on the edges. Oof, that's a little too much. It's like I'm not an expert on highlighting fabric. Sometimes I have to go back and forth a couple of times to get it to where I want. See just a little spot back here that needs. Needs darkened down a little bit here. There we go. Yeah. Just touch in her belly here just to get just a touch of that. All right, sweet. I think I'm gonna move on to this pink now, do her shirt and that sash she's wearing. We use this Pro Acrylic pink. Ooh. I like how when you use them too, it leaves a little bit here so you can identify them easy when you set them down. I'm gonna have to mix this in with the red a little bit here because it is like super bright. And it would be drastic if even that's too much. All right, now we can start lightening it up a little bit here. This pink is like really light. Again, just let me know if that music gets too loud. For me, it doesn't sound too bad, but I don't know how it sounds out there. I might not do too much more to this. I might just kind of leave it like this. I'm kind of liking how it looks. I'm kind of okay with it, actually. I think that looks pretty good like that. I don't think I'm going to do too much more. And with these pants actually shouldn't take too much to change them up. Or to add a little bit of highlights to the pants here. So I think I'll do them up real quick. Okay, we're good. Throw a little bit more brown in there. All right. We might as well highlight the boots and these straps while we got them. Maybe hit her gloves here real quick while we got this going. Looks good. I don't think I'm gonna mess with these boots or anything too much. I mean, you don't have to get too crazy on boots and stuff, I don't think. A little bit of shade on them maybe, or a little bit of highlighting, but I don't think you gotta get too crazy. Those are potions there, which I think I can do. And do maybe like a dark red potion and a blue potion. The other one I'll do in a green. And let me hit the shaft a few. And grab some skeleton bone here to hit the tape. Can't tell if this is too loud or not. I turned it down just a touch. It sounded like it was like getting louder. Paint this other feather white. I always struggle too. That's another weird thing that I struggle on, is what color to paint feathers. All right, let's throw a little gold around that. And a little bit on these chains that are kind of hanging down. Did I assume these are gold chains hanging down? They look like gold chains to me. So that's what they're going to be. And to be honest, I'm probably going to be the only one to ever like really look at these miniatures. I don't know if anybody is interested in playing this game in my group or not. Nope, I see more. grab some green here. So I assume these are potions on her. I can't really tell 100%. Oh. Forgot about the chain around her neck. Here we go. And I think I'm just going to do a bit of dry brush for the hair. Nothing too crazy on it. And you know what? Maybe I should add a couple little tiny strands. I'm just trying to catch the strands or the recesses in her hair here. Just add a little bit of highlighting to it. No, maybe I'll just some of that black back in there. And maybe touch up this underneath her chin. Yeah, that looks pretty good there. I'm happy with that. You know what? Maybe I might actually go back over that. I might actually go back to black or dark blue on that. I kind of like that, like the dark blue up around her neck better. Yep, I like it like that better. All right, let's throw a little wash on that face. Well, you know what? Let's try this. Hey, half piece. Thanks for joining. Just painting up some board game miniatures. Just seeing what I could get done. I've been anxious to play this game. and just thought I better get started on painting up some of the miniatures. I've been putting them off. And this here is just some contrast paints, Gilliman's Flesh. Hope you're doing well tonight. I got this one just about finished here. I think I'm going to do a few more little touch-ups on her. But for the most part, I think she's about done. Definitely tabletop quality. But I'm pretty psyched to play the game once I actually get them all painted up. I've been putting off playing because I'm just so, like, I just like having my miniatures painted before I play, which sometimes that kind of really slows me down quite a bit on what I get to play. But, oh yeah. I was going to get the brown wash out, but I can just hit it with this flesh. And that'll be fine. Doing R2 drawing manga for a contest. Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm a big anime fan. I don't read much manga, but I do watch a good bit. Well, I've slowed down a good bit of anime though. I've always tried to draw manga and stuff, but I couldn't get it. That's really cool though. That's one thing about streaming is, like, I love talking with other people and seeing what they're doing. So many people have such interesting hobbies. There's so many talented people out there. It's just crazy. Trying to do a little bit of non-metallic metal on this spear. I'm gonna have to watch a couple tutorials or something on how to do non-metallic metals. Usually I just use the metallic paints. But I just thought I'd try something different. It's always good to try new techniques and push yourself. See what you can do. Learn new stuff with it. Maybe that needs like one more line or so. It's not bad. I'm not real thrilled with it. So I might have to come back and try that again. Yes, City Hands I know because I also do model kits, especially from Gundam franchise. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've built a Gundam or two. Yeah, I like Gundam. They got some really cool models out there. I took my time and really put together one a couple of years ago. But it looks really cool on my shelf. I'm really happy with them. Now, what kind of Oh, hey, Diesel Man. Now, what kind of manga do you draw, Half Piece? Do you draw more action oriented, fantasy, sci-fi, romance? Like what kind of is your genre? Poor Diesel, you've had to listen to me sort of just kind of go babbling on here by myself for a while. Put a little white dot so it shows like some reflection on these. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of color to her lips. I almost gave her a Joker smile there. Ah, that brush is not doing it. Action horror manga. It's about a shaman and his guardian white tiger spirit beating up evil ghosts. It's based loosely in Southeast Asia mythology. Wow, wow. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I definitely like action. I like horror. So that's really cool. Well, I'm glad that you stopped in. Yeah, that's very interesting. As I said, I like manga, or Well, I like anime. I mean, I read manga when I get it, but I don't get it too often. I usually just stick with anime. But that's awesome, man. I always try to be careful putting these eyes in, because sometimes I feel like putting eyes in some of these mess them up. Like, it's just better off to leave them just shaded in. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to leave it like that. I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, I think I'm about done. I can't really think of anything else that I need to do to her. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how she came out. I think she looks kind of sick. Oh, Harold and Bob. Good to see you again, buddy. Throw a little brown wash on. Just a touch of brown wash on this gold here to tone it down a smidge. Get some good minis in. Yeah. These are from Malador. It's a new board game that I picked up. I was watching a bunch of reviews on it, and it looked like a lot of fun. It's like it can be a single player dungeon crawler and such. So I've been wanting to play it really bad, but I've been putting it off because I wanted to get the miniatures painted up. And it was like I thought it was about time to get started on them and get them going here. But yeah, I think I'm done with her. I think that I'm good. You know what? Here, let me put just a touch of something on this white feather here. Maybe just a touch on the end of this staff so it shows up a little bit more. But yeah, I was just kind of, with these miniatures here, I decided to just kind of take my time with them and kind of go back old school, the way I used to really paint, and not so much speed paints or anything, just kind of layer it up, do some washes, some glazing, some highlighting and stuff. Because I've been on such a speed paint kick lately that it's just not as fun anymore. It was kind of taking some of the joy out of the painting, so I wanted to go back to just kind of taking my time, chilling and enjoying painting. I'm still working on that commission, but I thought I'd paint something else up tonight. Because with that, it's just slapping on the speed paint and not really, you know, not really enjoying the process or anything, just kind of getting it done. But, yeah. I think I'm going to call her finished. I don't feel the need to like go into the eyeballs there anymore. It just makes them worse. I've stayed with base layer and was trained. You get some great control. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I mean, the speed paints I enjoy for like just kind of batch painting and getting them quickly done. And I mean, there are some instances where it looks good on the miniatures and stuff, but I kind of miss. This was actually really fun to just sit here and kind of go back to slowly getting her done, like just doing the base, the layering up, and the washes and such. Like it was a lot of fun, and I think she looks really cool. So I'm happy with her. I have these other guys here ready to go too. And I know for the starter, like the first solo mission and stuff, you need the wizard girl and you need this well, I think he's just a fighter, but you need him painted up as well. So I think I'm going to start on him and get him going. I'll hang out in a little bit since you guys jumped on and stuff. I hate to leave. Which brush was I using there? The hardest thing about these miniatures, though, is getting the base coat on first to see what the heck all the details are. But prime black like this, I have a hard time seeing where, you know, like the hair ends and the face begins. Harold, you working on anything new this week, or? I came close. How do you paint such small mini figurines? It must take a tremendous skill to do it. I don't know. I guess just over time, you just learn more and more control. I mean, it when you first start painting out and stuff, and you just learn. I think you got to learn patience too, taking your time and trying to stay within the lines and such. But then you learn little tricks to kind of hide all your mistakes and stuff too, like washes, dry brushing, and such. That kind of helps hide a lot of mistakes, which I make tons of mistakes all the time on these. Oh yeah, the airbrush, Zenithal, yeah. Yeah, I remember talking about that on the other stream there. And I keep thinking I'm gonna pull out my airbrush and get it back working in order here. But for these guys here, I wasn't too worried about doing the Zenithal highlighting on these ones. I just thought I would just paint them up how I usually do. Or at least whenever I'm painting stuff for myself. This is Usually how I do it is just... But I guess it, I guess that the Zenithal would help too, even just putting down the base coats. It would help with those too. And it would, make it a little easier to find the details and stuff instead of guessing on a lot of these guys. I'm working on reloading and craft bench, taking a break from mini painting, and it's best for the winter months. Oh, very true. Yeah, I've been struggling trying to find the time during these summer months. And now we're going back to school, so my kids are starting back up in sports. So that's definitely taking a big chunk of the time there. Oh, half piece. I meant to ask you too. Now, do you do a lot of... Do you do like digital art when you're drawing, or do you do like pencil and paper still? Her own Bob. Yeah, you're right. After I was thinking about it and you said it, it would make it easier to find the detail and stuff on it. Yeah, or you've missed the paint. What color do his pants? This is the hardest part about it, is struggling to figure out which color paint, or what color I want to paint everything. Yeah, that's true. Oh, I keep getting these. Let's see if I get a paper clip. I've been having a problem with these war paints and also Vallejo drying up in the tip there. So I keep a paper clip around so that I can open them up, because I've squeezed too hard before and had the whole, like this part here, pop off, and then half of my paint bottle just runs out, which kind of sucks because these paints aren't cheap. American Barbarian. Blue jeans. Yeah, I'm going to try to keep... I mean, I guess she's a lot brighter than what I meant to get. But since this is like a dungeon crawler game, I kind of wanted to keep them darker. Almost like a grim dark, or a little grittier. But I ended up making her a little brighter than I intended. I should have looked up all the reference pictures online and went from there, but that's fine. My twin brother is fully converted to digital art. Meanwhile, I'm still sitting in my traditional art fortress. Oh yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. I've seen some people draw up some amazing stuff with digital art. I mean, it's crazy the amount of effects that they can put into them. But it's always good to keep the traditional way going. I might have to paint those pants. I should have painted his tunic this color maybe. I might redo them in a brown. I'm not feeling this green too much. Maybe I'll do his vest in this, but then I'm gonna go back and fix those pants and make them a maybe a light brown. Oh, I meant to ask you guys, how's the music in the background? Is the music too loud? Or is it okay? Is it annoying? I put it on there just because it was quiet for a little while. And the silence was kind of driving me crazy. I hear none, and you're nearly at max volume. Okay. Alright, well, I guess there's a way. I could probably put it through OBS and have that stream as well. Alright, let's see what I got changing pants into. You know, I've made some Warhammer 40k arts in my spare time. I drew mostly Space Marine from the Raptors successor chapter in Battle Sisters. Still a beginner in 40k universe. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, the Raptors. Now who are they? Who are they from? Go for 5 plans for the challenge. For a challenge. The sister or the Battle Sisters, yeah, they're cool. I never played them. I never got into them very much, but I think that they're a cool faction. Like I think that their lore and everything is really cool. I think that there's a new combat patrol, or no, a new new kill team set coming out with them in it, and some Night Lords. So that should be kind of cool. I like the Night Lords. I'm going to do a wash over top of these eventually here to darken them up. I should get some Zombicide miniatures so that I could paint plaid and striped shirts and such. I hope I like this game after spending time painting up all the miniatures. That would kind of be a bummer. Get everything painted up and then be like, man, this game sucks. Which is always a possibility. I have a tendency to impulse buy these games and sometimes never even get to play them. Looks like he's got a cover on his axe here. Tried to draw the Custodes, but their armor is so intricate. It nearly broke me. Maybe I could try another time. Oh, yeah, no kidding, man. Their armor is so complicated and so much detail. Yeah, I don't blame you at all there. Looks like he's got some armor. Paint up this fur a little bit. I think I'm going to keep it like a white fur. What the hell? This brush is like wet. Yeah, a lot of 40K art though that you see is really really complicated. A lot of detail in a lot of it. So I could see that would be really challenging to paint up. Goodness. Thinking the paper towel that I'm using here is a little too wet. It's making my dry brushes wet. Maybe do a little wash over top of this fur at some point. Kind of darken it down. Get in there and touch that plate up just so that I can see it. So he has just a little piece of chest plate there. No, not usually. Usually I paint up the bases. At least I'll paint them. I'll probably paint them something like this, like for these Hero Quest guys. Like, I mean, these are just plain bases here, and I drew the tile markings on. I'll probably do that for these guys as well, because the playmat, it has, like, dungeon tile square looks to it. So I'll probably do that as well on these. And this is, like, super easy to do. It's just a little bit of, like, just mixing some random gray, green, black colors together and stuff, and then just drawing these little cracks on. So I'll probably end up doing that for these guys as well. Oh yeah, 40K manga. That'd be cool. Yeah, who knows with Games Workshop what they would do though. I have a really old 40K art, like a art book. It has a lot of illustrations in it. But I mean, they're like professional paintings that were done. They're really cool. The book now, I bought that thing probably 20 years ago, and I think now it goes for like 200 bucks, which at the time I probably paid like $20. I like the basic concept. I started my Blood Angels army with texture paint and locked in for cohesion. Yeah, yeah, the texture paint's cool. I used it on. I used it on my Tyranids. I had to look back there and check. Yeah, it gives a nice effect though. I really like it. Wondering if this ain't like a piece of metal here too hanging down. Like a cod piece kind of deal. I think it is. $200. That's 1,000 in my country currency. Oh wow. It's crazy how currency is like that. Yeah, that book, as I said, I bought it a long time ago. And I know with 40K especially, a lot of people collect the books. Um, I don't know. I haven't sold it yet. I keep thinking about selling it. Because it's not like, I've looked at it enough, and a lot of the drawings in it are used in other books and stuff that they have, like whenever they come out with the new codexes and such. So, but yeah, since it's like 200 bucks now, I'd definitely sell it. I should eBay it at some time, but I just kind of never got around to it. use that money to buy more figures. I've been debating whether or not to go out and buy the new battle box for salamanders that came out. I did a video and everything on it, and I want to get them so badly, but I'm just afraid that I won't get to play very much, and I kind of hate to spend the $200 and have them sit. But minis look cool. I'd love to have it. I think I'm going to give this guy some fiery orange hair. I know he's a fighter. I'm not so sure if he's like a... I don't think that he's like a berserker or anything like that. But... I guess in my board game, I can make them kind of whatever I want them to be. They didn't sculpt any ears on these guys. Well, very, very little. Any Warhammer 40k books you can recommend to a beginner like me? I like the story of the Siege of Rocks on YouTube. Well, I mean, there are tons and tons of books out there. I mean, it all depends. You know, if you want to start going down the Horus Heresy line, there are tons of books with that. I mean, they're wrapping that up, and I think they're going to start the Scouring. I mean, you could always start there because that's kind of like the Great Crusade and when the Emperor first set out with all of his Primarchs and such. I mean, there's also a lot of chapter-specific books. There's a lot of all the different factions kind of have books. It just kind of depends on what what you're kind of into the most. I mean, there's a lot of the Battle Sisters. They have their own book line and such. Really enjoying the Eisenhorn books right now. It's a spy series. Yeah, I mean, right there, that's a good book series to get into. You know, I was actually looking on my shelf, and I did read the omnibus of that. This is the one that I read. I read this like years ago. I'm not sure if you've probably already read all these then. But this, yeah, I mean, this is definitely a healthy read. Putting down a little bit of the flesh wash on his face. There's a fourth one. Okay. Yeah, I haven't read that one. I read those ones there. As I said, I used to read like a madman. I have so many omnibuses for 40K that it's crazy. I'm going throughout the timeline, and there are 3 more books and some novella in between. Oh man, I didn't realize that that line had gone so far. Well, and years ago too, I got kind of started into the Horus Heresy, as I was saying, and that, I mean, you know how many books are involved in that line. So that took me forever to get through, and then finally get to the Siege on Terra. And I finished up those books now. Is it The End and the Death? I think that was the name of the series for the Siege on Terra. I think the Scouring will be cool to read when they get that series going. I'm kind of anxious to read that. Brighten up this guy's hair just a touch. Give him that Dwarf Slayer look. And let's throw a little wash on those pants and such. You know what? How about... let's throw some Skeleton Horde on there instead of Agrax. The Ravener series is what I'm on now. That's the spin-off. I don't know much about that one. Very different flavor, but overlapping characters. Yeah, I don't know much about that one, I don't think. I didn't read it. But you say it's kind of overlapping characters and such. Yeah, but that's what I mean, half piece. It's hard to recommend a certain series for you, just because there's so many different kinds. You know, no matter what you're into, what you like, they got you covered. Might as well go back in and highlight up some of this. Not a series, look into a read order. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I always make sure that whenever I'm picking up a new series or something, I always try to make sure I'm on number one. I definitely don't want to jump into like late in the series or something like that. Now this is something I often struggle with is, do you paint eyebrows on figures or not? I think I'm going to follow the Battle Sisters route. I have a great time drawing them in full squad. Oh yeah, man, that's awesome. I'm trying to think if I know any. Hang on, let me see if I have any. I don't see any. No brows unless the character is Greek. Yeah. Jump into the heresy, be ready, because there's 4 consistent. Oh, yeah. The heresy goes on forever. It's very complicated. Yeah, I know. The eyebrows always get me, because this guy here, I'm like, oh, he looks like he needs some eyebrows. But I'm afraid to paint him that it's gonna mess it up. Sometimes faces, when they're this small, it's just better to just leave them alone. You know, put a little bit of shading in the eye sockets and not paint the eyes at all. It's usually what I end up doing, because trying to put like a little white eye and then the pupil and all that in there, it just... No expert, but I think drawing the brow could be difficult. It is. Oh, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. On something this small is... It is. I mean, I've put them on guys before. Sometimes it's okay, and then sometimes it messes it up. I'm really happy with the way his flesh... really happy with the way his flesh looks on his face, so I hate to mess it up. So I think I'm just going to leave it go. I mean, these guys are for a board game. You know, it's not like I'm entering them into a competition or anything like that, so... This guy's about finished. I like the red hair on him. I think that's kind of cool looking. The green and that looks kind of cool. Kind of digging them. And this game here, it already has a bunch of expansions out as well. I think there's a new one coming out in September. I always got to pull myself back a little bit and not buy all these. Go with a wash of the hair tones. Yeah. That's a usually I skip. I usually skip the eyes on these guys unless it's something, as you said, like an HQ or a main character. Because I've ruined miniatures with that. Like after I paint the eyes on them, then and it looks terrible. And I'm like, oh man, I should have just left them alone. I shouldn't have like went any further with it. Just highlighting up the screen just a touch. Same with boots. I never get too crazy on the boots. Um, I mean, just a little touch of a highlight here or there on them, but when eyes go wrong, do you love me, brother? So the paint is permanent. Am I correct? Yeah. Yeah, they. I mean, you can always paint over. You know, if you make a mistake or something, like you can always paint over it. Um, but yeah, I mean, once you paint them, it's on there. Especially like I seal them usually with a matte varnish, and that'll help protect them from chipping or anything. Like if you're, you know, if you play with them in a game, the matte varnish will help protect them a little bit. Be strong, Clarence. Be strong for the Emperor. You have to love any quote that mentions. You have to love any quote that mentions for the Emperor, or else you're a filthy heretic. Well, I think this guy is getting close to being finished. Pretty happy with the level that he's at. Paints rub off easily without... Yeah, they do. Yeah, I've always varnished mine up pretty good. I've never had too much trouble doing it that way, but I've pretty much always varnished my guys. I've never just let them go. You put the time into painting them, I mean, it kind of sucks to have the paint come off. Fused Ogre Studios. Hey, what's up, man? Zoom that camera in, bro. See, I should. Okay. Let me see if this works better. I mean, let me know if this looks better or not. Or is it not in focus very well? Is that... How goes it? It's good, man. Just finishing up some... Well, just getting some minis painting for... my gosh, I totally drew a blank. Malador. Oh, yeah. How's this look, though? The miniature, I think, is a little out of focus here. I'll have to mess around with my camera settings and stuff and try to get them, where they are a little more in focus. I feel like this guy's a little blurry here. Yeah, here's the sorcerer that I painted up earlier. But yeah, I think they came out pretty cool. I'm really happy with them. Okay, I gotta go. It's almost time for lunch. It was good talking with you. You too, man. I appreciate you stopping in. Hope to see you in the next one. That's what I'm talking about. Are they pretty clear? I mean, on my screen, they look kind of blurry. I can't tell. Do they look more in focus this way? Good luck with your works. Hey, you too, man. I hope that good luck on your competition. I hope it works out for you. Kind of fuzzy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'll have to mess around with the zoom and see if I can't get these guys more in focus. But there you go. I'm gonna make food and have your stream on. Nice. Better than the webcam. Yeah, that webcam was terrible. That's what I mean, like, you know, you can see the mat here is nice And it looks like it's pretty in focus. But these guys, I can tell that they're just a little fuzzy. Haunted, thanks for jumping in, man. But yeah, I got these two done. I think I'm gonna probably call it there. I've been streaming for a couple of hours now. But yeah, I like them. I'm happy with them. I can't wait to get the rest of them painted up. This game has some cool miniatures and such. But yeah, let me keep messing around with the camera. Hopefully next time I can get it more in focus. But yeah, I want to say thanks everybody for stopping in. It's always good chatting it up with you. And I hope to see you in the next one, because I definitely want to get these guys painted up, so I'll try to maybe stream a little more this week or something. But, alright guys, yeah, I'll talk to you all later. See you later. Bye.